quality
Good morning, students.
of honeydew, fifth chapter, quality. As it is very clear from the word quality, the quality has been described. Can a shoemaker be called an artist? Can you say? Yes. If he has the same skill and pride in his trade as any other science artist, if he has the same skill and pride as any other profession the artist has, and the same respect for it too. Mr. Jessler, a German shoemaker settled in London, is a perfect artist. In this story, we are going to read about a German shoemaker whose name was Mr. Jessler and who settled in London. He is a perfect artist. Read this story to see how he devotes his life to his art. The writer of this story is John Galsworthy. Now, I am telling you the summary of this story. Quality is the story of a German shoemaker settled in London. His name was Mr. Jessler. He was a perfect artist. He used to make the boots of the narrator's father also. Jessler lived with his elder brother. The shop had no signboard. He made boots only. On advance orders. If anybody orders, then he made. And they never failed to fit. And he was so good that he never failed. His boots lasted long, and they were long lasting. So the narrator did not need to go to his shop because they are very durable, so the narrator didn't need to come there very soon. The customer going to Jessler sat on a wooden chair and waited. It was like going to some church. The narrator wanted a pair of Russian leather boots. Jessler showed his piece of gold brown leather. He promised to deliver the boots after a fortnight. A period of 15 days. It seemed he used to dream of boots. Once the narrator complained that his last pair of boots creaked. Jessler was shocked to hear it because never anyone complained. He agreed to repair or replace them. On another occasion, the narrator entered Jessler's shop. He was wearing a pair of shoes bought at a large firm. Jessler told that those were not his boots. He would take care on the place where the left boot was not comfortable. He spoke bitterly that big firms made poor quality boots. He also spoke about the hard times of his trade. His own business was going down. The narrator was so deeply moved that he ordered many pairs. For 2 years, he couldn't go to Jessler's shop. When he came to Jessler's shop next time, he came to know that Jessler's elder brother had died. He again ordered for many pairs of boots. He was also upset to see Mr. Jessler, who seemed to have grown older by 15 years. And he again ordered for many pairs of boots. Soon, he went abroad. Student, do you know abroad? To the foreign countries. When he returned his country after a year, he went to Jessler's shop again to thank him for the new goods which he had parceled to him, but he found that the name of the shop was gone. It had been taken over by some Englishmen. The poor fellow died of slow starvation. You know starvation? Hunger. His business failed for he took a long time to supply the order. He never made any advertisement. Do you know advertisement? In TV, newspaper, we can see so many advertisements. He used the best leather. He never gave himself time to eat. He was a character who made really good heads. So students, I think you are able to understand this story and also know about the quality of the shoes Mr. Jessier maintained the quality of the shoes whether he died of starvation. So students, I think you are able to understand the story. Thank you students. Every day throughout the world. View! Exclaimed Pranjal. Pranjal became very surprised to listen that. View! Exclaimed. Tea really is very popular. The train pulled out of the station. Pranjal buried his nose in his detective book again. Rajveer too was an ardent. And ardent means staunch cutter. An ardent fan of detective stories. He loved detective stories, so again he continued to read detective stories, but at the moment he was keener on looking at the beautiful scenery, and he was also watching the beautiful scenery. It was green everywhere. Rajveer had never seen so much greenery before. Then the soft green rice field gave way to tea bushes, and now it take place about tea bushes. It was a magnificent, splendid view against the backdrop of densely wooded hills. A sea of tea bushes stretched as far as the eye could see, and he could see densely wooded hills, a sea of tea bushes everywhere, dwarfing, making less important or making look like dwarf. The tiny tea, tiny means very small tea plants, were tall, sturdy, strong, sad trees, and amidst the orderly rows of bushes busily moved doll-like figures. These look like the doll-like figures. In the distance was an ugly building with smoke billowing out of tall chimneys, and from a distance he can also see the tall chimneys which were giving the smoke. A tea garden, Rajveer cried excitedly. Pranjal, who had been born and brought up on a plantation, did not share Rajveer's excitement because he was not so much excited. He has seen all this many times. Oh, this is tea country now, he said. Assam has the largest concentration of plantation in the world. You will see enough gardens to last you a lifetime. Assam has the largest concentration of plantation. Assam is a very big country in the world of tea plantation. You will see enough garden to last you a lifetime. You will see so many gardens here. I have been reading as such as I could about tea, Rajveer said. No one really knows who discovered tea, but there are many legend stories. What legend? Now he asked about the story. Well, there is one about the Chinese emperor who always boiled water before drinking it. One day, a few leaves of the twigs burning under the pot fell into the water, giving it a delicious, tasty flavor. It is said that these are tea leaves. Once, when he boiled the water at that time, a few leaves fell into the pot, and it is said that these are sea leaves, and it was very delicious flavor. It gives very delicious flavor. Now tell me another. Scoffed Pranjal. Scoffed laughed. Tell me another. Scoffed mocked Pranjal. We have an Indian legend too. There is an Indian legend too. Bodhidharma, an ancient Buddhist ascetic saint, cut off his eyelid because he felt sleepy during meditation. When he did meditation at that time, he felt sleepy. So 10 tea plants grew out of the eyelids. From his eyelash. 10 tea plants grew. The leaves of these plants, when put in hot water and drunk, vanished. When it disappeared, sleep. Tea was first drunk in China, Rajveer added, as far as 2700 BC. In fact, words such as tea, chai and chini are from Chinese. These words are derived from chai and chini from Chinese. Tea came to Europe only in the 16th century and was drunk more as medicine than as a beverage. This is also used as a medicine. The train clattered, make noise into Mariani Junction. The boys collected their luggage and pushed their way to the crowded platform. They came on the platform. Pranjal's parents were waiting for them. Soon they were driving towards Dekhiabhari. The tea garden managed by Pranjal's father. An hour later, the car turned. The car veered sharply off the main road. They crossed a cattle bridge and entered Dekhiabhari tea estate. On both sides of the gravel stony road, were acre upon acre of tea bushes. There are lot of tea bushes, all neatly trimmed, all neatly pruned to the same height. Groups of tea pluckers with bamboo basket on their backs, wearing plastic apron, were plucking the newly sprouted leaves. They were plucking the tea leaves. Pranjal's father slowed down to allow a tractor pulling a trailer load of tea leaves to pass. He waited so that the tractor would pass from there. This is the second flush or sprouting period. Second flush or sprouting grown period, isn't it, Mr. Barua? Rajveer asked. It lasts from month to July and yields the best tea. Produce the best tea. You seem to have done your homework before coming, Pranjal's father said in surprise. Yes, Mr. Barua, Rajveer admitted, but I hope to learn much more while I am here. When I will stay here, I will learn some more. So students, you are able to understand this. Thank you, students.